All right, we are going to do a tire on the CB750 chopper here, and what we're going to do is use the zip tie method. So in a previous video, I had shown this and it just got a lot of attention and a lot of people were asking questions saying they'd never seen it, so let's make a dedicated video on this thing. It's actually a really simple process. You are going to sacrifice a few zip ties, but it is very worth it for the decreased amount of energy that you have to put in, as well as the decreased risk of puncturing your tube. So the idea behind this, so whenever you do a tire, you have two beads, of course. So the idea behind this, we take a zip tie and we compress it so there's only one singular bead, and that's gonna make it a lot easier to spoon on. So basically, instead of spooning one bead on and then putting your tube in and then spooning the other bead on and potentially damaging the tube, what you do, we inflate the tube softly inside the tire, we zip tie it, that way we lock down the bead, and then we just spoon it onto the rim. It's super easy. Now, I can't take credit for this one. I did actually see this on Instagram from Craig Rodsmith, who's like a legend in the industry, and he showcased this, and I'm like, okay, that's the way to go. So I definitely always keep a bag of these in the shop for general work and stuff, but I also keep a bag in my KLR 650 for all of the off-road riding and stuff like that. This is a lifesaver on the trail. Whenever you gotta do a flat repair or a tube change or something like that, this is a game changer. So let's go ahead and demonstrate. Okay, step one, we're gonna go ahead and put just a little bit of air in the tube itself. Pull off the other nut here, as you do. Excuse me. This is just barely enough to hold its shape. And then I usually coat these things pretty healthily with some silicone. Go ahead and get this thing in the tire itself. So right there, it's kind of expanded outwards. And then we don't want too much pressure where we can't, collapse this down, but we want enough to where the tube is trying to expand out so it's not, trying to get pinched in the bead itself. So I think we got actually the right amount. If not, we can take some out. So here, we're gonna start with the zip ties. So squeeze, kind of push the tube in. And you're gonna end up using at least 6 zip ties here. Like I said, you are gonna sacrifice a few, but this is very worth it. And of course, the best way of doing this is actually taking it to a shop and having them do it on their machine, but we don't have that option right now. This does make life easier, but I'm not going to say I like doing tires. Cinch down, okay. And now we're ready to actually get this thing on the rim. So we have our direction of travel. You gotta make sure you pay attention to that. So, silicone lubricant seems to work really well for this. Be generous with it. All around the bead, both sides. If you have a valve stem, I find it's easiest to start from the bottom, as one does. I didn't even have to use spoons. It usually doesn't happen like that, but that was definitely proof of concept right there. So now we got to fish in the valve stem. Right there. I'm pretty impressed that worked.
Did not expect it to go that easy at all.
I mean, realistically, even if you can't get that far, just spooning it on is so much easier because you'll just use probably 4 different, you'll spoon it a total of probably 4 times. So, you know, you got held down here, you gotta get some pressure on it over there. 1, 2, and then maybe like a third. And it usually works that well, but this worked even better. So once you're done, go ahead and you cut your zip ties now. If you cut them on the back side of the lock here, you can at least save a good length of them. You're gonna lose some. My hands are covered in silicone, so this is a little slick. Cut it, pull it out. Some tires are a little bit more difficult. But when you're done, you still have a little bit of a zip tie left, so be mindful of that. Okay. Get enough of that on there, and then we just start adding some air. Make sure you get your tube squared in here. So there you go. And this definitely works on tubeless tires. I've demonstrated that before too. And you might have to use some soapy water to seat the bead. What I normally do is pull the core out of the valve stem, and I'll use a rubber tipped air nozzle, put that on there, and then soapy water, and I've got them to seat pretty easily before, except for this tire that Seth brought the other day. That was a pain in the butt. So yeah, that's it.
Well, I hope you liked this one. As you can see, the CB750 is rolling on fresh tires right now, and I have a great video coming up for you guys, so definitely keep an eye out for that. If you like this video and you want to see more tech type videos or how-to type videos, this is going to be within a playlist called Quick Tech, so definitely check that out. It will be linked in the description. Anyway, hope you guys like this video, and hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.